Hello, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Welcome for passing by, and I hope you have the courage to watch the broadcast from beginning to the end. I'm going to keep it very brief and swift. But today we have to go on a quote that have to be elaborated on and make clear as to what we are about. So this is something that one can equally come by and go through and try to disseminate what it means line by line as many times as you want. But there's a reason for dropping this quote. So this quote goes like this. It's an original quote, from my own part of the earth. It said, when babies are born, the parents are happy and smiley, but the babies do cry. So have you ever wondered about that? How come when the babies are born, parents are happy, but yet the babies are crying? Will you call that weeping of joy or weeping of what? Mm. So maybe at the end of this narration, you'll be able to understand where we are taking you to. So I think maybe 90% or 99 or 98% of us cried as babies when we were born. I wouldn't know because I never asked. I never asked my mom and I never asked my dad. So that's just the truth. So maybe those of you who knows can tell us or drop us a line on what you were told. So because these days, for example, or let's say about 15 years ago, maybe some families were fortunate enough to have the videos of the birth of their children. Like mine, I have the birth of my first son, the birth of my daughter, she was the second. I was not there because she was giving birth to in another city because my wife went on a mugwa to go and deliver a younger sister who was heavily pregnant at that time. Why she too was heavily pregnant, so but somehow, she insisted that she have to go. Then I said, okay, but I just hope you don't get put to bed in the train because then I couldn't go because I have to work the next day. So she have to take a train from Skipo to Rosinda. So when she got there that same evening, after the sister was put to bed, so a few hours later, then she she went into labor. So that's a true story, my own, you know, story. So that was how my second daughter was born. So, but for my third third child, which happens to be a boy also, so by that one, I was also there again because he was also born here in Amsterdam. So I was there at the beginning, from the beginning to the end. So I can tell you that out of those two that I witnessed physically, that the children, the babies do cry, or they did cry when they came. So where we were happy and smiling, etc. So, but that is not what this whole thing is about. That one is just a personal something that just came to me incognito. So I never even had it in mind when I wrote this you know, when I wrote this quote. So, by this quote goes like this: when babies are born, the parents are happy and smiling, but the babies cry endlessly. So, the quote that I just tried to elaborate on, it goes like, when baby is born, the parents are filled with happiness and joy, but the baby often cries endlessly. So, this is a common experience for many new parents, as babies often cry for a variety of reasons, such as hunger, discomfort, or a need for attention. So, but what I'm talking about is not any of those, but people might want to say things like that. Well, we're talking of a baby that was just born. So, does it mean that the baby has been eaten from the or feeding from the mother's womb all this while? So, and it just came out in the second, and all of a sudden, then it's hungry? I don't think so. So, but let's assume so anyway. Or maybe he's dehydrated. Or why I would say I don't think so is that even when the baby cries at the hospital, at the maternity ward of the hospital, they are not breastfed. Neither are they given any water or anything like that. So which means we're not dehydrated or whatsoever. So despite the challenges that come with a crying baby, parents are often overjoyed at the arrival of their newborn. The birth of a child can be a life-changing event, bringing with it a sense of wonder and awe at the miracle of a new life. Parents may experience a range of emotions during this time, from elation to exhaustion, as they adjust to the demands of caring for their newborn babies. So it is also worth noting that while a crying baby can be difficult for parents to manage, it is a natural and necessary part of a baby's development. Crying is one of the ways that infants communicate their needs, to their caregivers. So you see that? So so their caregivers, right? So that is to show you that the babies communicate in so many ways, right from birth. They communicate, in that way. So and it is an important part of their early social and emotional development. So, in summary, the quote suggests that while the arrival of a baby can be a source of great happiness for parents, it can also bring with it a host of challenges, including a crying infant. Despite these difficulties, many parents find that the joy and fulfillment of raising a child far outweigh any initial struggles they may face. So, when the parents die, the babies cry again, you know. So that is the second chapter we are going to take. That when the parents die, this time around the babies do cry again, either as babies or as adults or as even mothers. So now, like in the first part, like you see, the parents are overjoyed when they have, you know, a new life be brought to life or added into the family and things like that. It's really a thing of joy because just like yesterday here, one of our family members came here with a newborn baby. So when I saw her, I remember how I felt when I first had my first child in my arm as a baby. Although I'm seeing their photos right here now, their pictures are right on the wall. Even then, when they were very tiny, etc. So, but that, you know, seeing a newborn, a baby of just about maybe 2 3 weeks or so again, you know, right there. And when I had her in my arm yesterday, or in fact, when I was even staring at her, I was like, wow, what a beautiful life, So, and in another 10 years from now, that same baby will be jumping around the whole place. Like, in fact, if you see that baby maybe 10 years from now, you wouldn't even recognize baby because it will be taller than myself. You guys not taking. So like, uh, like my children, when I look at them right now, I remember them like yesterday when they were born and stuff like that. Now they are much taller than my very self. So the children of nowadays, they are like that. That's how they grow. They grow very fast. And they learn so much that sometimes I start to wonder, you know, how the capacity of their knowledge will be like maybe at the time they get to 20 or to 30 years of years of age. Because what my boy of 15, or let's say 14 and a half, knows now, because he'll be 15 by in June. What he knows, most of the things that he knows at his age, I never knew when I was his age. So just imagine that. So there are so many things that are happening now because all this technology that you see, actually influencing everything, and how the children grows, and how they learn, and how they, you know, and how they, improve and build upon, you know, the knowledge that they acquire. Because with the internet of things and the AIs and things like that, and so many other technological breakthroughs, so a whole lot of things are taking place. So that is the issue of the baby. So we have that part, to hold on to, or to hang on to, and to make us smile as parents, or as families. So whether uncle, aunties, you know, etc., or cousins and nephews, because they are all, in one great bunch, that makes this family. In fact, even friends as well, and those you know. So like you said, it's the community that raises children, not merely just parents, because sometimes children also learn, from things that they see within, around them, etc., and they get influenced by those things as well. So that's why they say community raise a child. It takes a community to raise a child. No one say it takes a family to raise. It takes a community to raise a child. A family might try to raise a child on their own. Of course, families do raise children, but it takes a community, an entire community, to raise a child. Whether positively or negatively, it's everything that they see within their environment or their environs that also, at the end of the day, influence their behavior, and growth. So that was that. So now let's come to the second part of it. I said now, like I said before, the cycle of, life and death. So the mystery, the life mystery, and miseries. It's all about what this is about. So when the parents die, the babies cry again, and the parents smile once more. But this time, it's a long silence, but loud and deafening for eternity. Wow. Huh? So now you get, I guess you get where I'm going to. Because when the parents die, whether they are lying on their bed or they are lying on the casket or something, especially on the casket, on that last day that the children or the families will see them, you know, it's very, very painful and highly emotional. When you look around, nobody is practically smiling. So, but most importantly, it's the loved ones that feel it the most, or feel them the most, whether friends, children, grandchildren, or community dwellers, etc. Especially the people that knows them. So that's what it comes to. So by this time around, they'll be wailing, crying all over the place. Children crying again, and this time the parents are smiling and quiet. It's a long silence. You know? So by this a reminder of the natural cycle of life and death. It suggests that when parents pass or pass away, their children will cry once more. Not one, not me. Let's say their children will cry once again. But this time there is no one to comfort them. But you remember when the children were born, when they cry, the parents will then comfort them. Right? So by this time the parents are sleeping and they're quiet, they're smiling with long definite definite silence, you know. So by this time around, there's no one to comfort the crying babies. The parents in turn may smile in a long silence and definite way, as they have left behind a legacy that will live on in their children and the world around them. The death of a parent can be a deeply emotional and challenging experience for children, regardless of their age. It can bring up feelings of sadness, grief, and even confusion as they try to come to terms with the loss of someone who played a significant role in their lives. So, if you have loved, if you have loved someone, or if you once had a parent, and you was old enough to remember how you lost them and the feelings and the pain that goes with it, then you understand this thing does not go away, not even in 10 years, except maybe you've been really, really matured enough at the time you lost your parents. So, but I don't know, I wouldn't know because different people lost their parents at different ages. But like the ones I know who even lost their parents even at the age of, let's say, 20 something or 20, 30 or thereabout, they still miss their parents till now as we speak. And they still talk about their parents and how they miss their parents. And when they talk about their parents, you can see it in their eyes, you can feel it, from their voices and from the emotions attached to it, knowing fully well that that parent is not coming back anymore. The only thing that is left is the memory. Therefore, that memory has to be analyzed over and over again. So it stays on for a very long time. But only them have that memory, the clear picture of what that memory represents. So who feels it knows it best. You know, so that's it. So the absence of a parent can also create a sense of longing and yearning, as children may wish they could turn to their parents for guidance and support in times of need. At the same time, the quote suggests that the memory of a parent can be a source of comfort and inspiration for children. Even long after their passing, the smile of a parent, even in death, can serve as a reminder of the love, warmth, and wisdom that they brought into their children's lives. This can help children to continue to feel connected to their parents and to carry their legacy forward in their own lives and relationships. Overall, we have to say it speaks to empower. It speaks to the power of love connection and legacy, even in the face of death. While the loss of a parent can be painful and difficult, the memories and lessons they leave behind can continue to shape and enrich the lives of their children and children's children for years to come. Because when the parent is gone, definitely those children will one day will become parents or they are already parents. So they carry on that legacy by always telling the story because definitely as life goes, they will always remember something to say. My mother used to say, you know, this and this and this and this and that. My father used to say this and this and this and this and that. Like in my own case, I always say to my children, or my father used to say, my grandfather used to say mostly, first of all, you know, my grandfather will call you by your name, hear you by your name, by your father's name, by his name, which is grandfather's name, and great grandfather's name, and great grandmother's name, etc. I try to remind you of your lineage and where you are coming from, what you represent. and, by, and by so doing, it's give you some energy and stuff like that, you know. So you don't go out there, for example, and you cry home when you have a fight outside or something like that. It never happens because once you are coming, my grandfather will stood on top of on top of the patio. Then from there he will shout and ask about the person that was crying because there were a lot of kids playing around and stuff like that. He shout, "Who is that crying there?" Then they will ask you, what is it? Then you say, so person, provoked you or this or this or you say, okay, don't cry into this compound. Go back there and solve the problem before you come back home. So what that means is that you don't have to bring tears into that compound. Go out there. If it's a fight, go and fight it. Defeat that person before you come back home. So if somebody else crept back into that compound again, and start to shout my grandfather's name because my grandfather lived there, and they'll be shouting my grandfather's name. Oh, come and see, your children has done this, your children have done that again. Then my grandfather will come out again and say, who is that shouting my compound? And the person will say, oh, it's me. Oh, good morning or good afternoon or this. Tell me why you are here. And the person will say, he says, is that why you are here? Okay, go. I will take care of it. Where is the boy? My father has already solved this thing. He won't talk much. He just discharge that person. Okay, and sorry that my son beat your son and whatever and things like that. But leave that to me. I'll take care of him. Then my grandfather will call you. So, did you went out there to go and fight? He said yes. He was the one that hit me first, and therefore I have to hit him back and everything. You say really? You say yes. How did he hit you? Then you tell him. You say get out of here. you know. So, but what that means is that it was not encouraging violence. What they were just saying is that try to be a man in whatever situation you find yourself. Be a man. Take control of every situation. So if somebody if your own age mate can stand you on the street, or a man like you can stand you on the street and challenge you, you are equal to the task. You too, you can do the same. So everyone wants peace. If you don't want peace, tell him you too you don't want peace. If you want pieces, tell him you too you want pieces. So at the end of the day, there will be a balance in between. So you have your peace, and you have his. So you said that you don't have peace, or you don't have peace. So if you want peace, then you have to also behave likewise. So that is the way it is. So what we are saying here today is that you know this whole thing has to do with parental upbringing, and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, these are the memories that we take with us when the parents are gone. So even when they are smiling in their sleep, you know, you look at those things, those legacies and stuff, things that you took from them, that you relate with. So even when they are long gone, those memories lingers on. So I hope you, you all have a good a good a good day today. Because I think I must have taken you back to your upbringing. Most of you must have remember your parents or your mothers or your grandparents and what have you. You know, so that's it. So like my grandmother, for example, I still remember her vividly. Also, you know, there are many things that she was very good at. You know, she used to do fix things for herself. Fix things. When I mean fix things, I mean she can demolish a wall right now and reconstruct that wall. You know, transfer the door. You know, and put the door where there was no door and things like that. You know, so she was very rich actually, but she likes to do things for herself because she don't like to rely on anybody. Because when she give job to some of these people there to come and do some stuff for her, so when they are delayed, before they come the next day of stuff, she just get up and start to do her own things herself. You know, so that was it. In fact, the second house that she built, the first house that she built, she was one of the first lady, to own a house in that village there. In fact, the first person, as we were told in history, to first woman to roof a house with zinc, as at that time, to the extent that even the king of that place have to send, because the king's house was made of thatch. So the king have to send his men to go and take or confiscate the zinc that my grandmother bought from Onisha, for the roofing of the house. So they came there, they took it and they said, the king has not roofed his own house with zinc. How come my grandmother was bold enough, to go and buy zinc to to want to roof her house? So they took those bundles away. Then after the king roofed his house, before my grandmother was allowed to roof her own house. Therefore, she was the first woman actually to roof her house. You know, that is as a woman. If not, she would have been the first person in that community to roof her house with zinc as at that time. These are true life stories I'm talking about. So what we are saying here is that there are things that you have to remember about your parents. There are things you have to remember about your grandparents, etc. So that of my parents, I have to keep that one for another day. But this one, I have to really remember that of my grandparents because it just came naturally. These are facts. So those who know me, they might know what I'm talking about here right away. So that's a fact. Because my grandmother used to deal on the textiles, you know, clothes or this roll. When I mean roll, not bundles, roll of materials, or those what do you call it, akara, not those kind of George, you know, materials, etc. So they carry out the rolls with pickups and things like that. And one of the most favorite transporter then was one man called Jokolo. That was what they used to write on his car, you know, Jokolo. So that was the man who was always transporting my grandmother's goods all the way from Onitsha, straight to the village. Then from there, my grandmother would start to cut those things into the bond. What do you call it? Piece, you know, into piece. So then to go and sell, to go and go around the whole place, you know, to go and sell to people where some will be owing house at that time, for months and months and months and months, maybe even some people forgotten now, who knows. So that was it. So anyway, she was very, very commercially driven and she was very okay. So, but what we are saying here is that the memory that goes with all these things, stays on forever. So that is it. May their soul rest in peace. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope I'm able to take you back to to how your parents used to used to do their own things. Especially, I hope it's positive as mine was. So that is it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's end it here first. Then maybe another part we'll do some other part. It depends on the response that I get. So stay blessed and please don't forget to give us a thumbs up. You know. Oh, my this thing fall down here without me even knowing. Let me put it back. And also, it fell off before, so I didn't even know that. Notice. And also, that was it. So, I hope that everyone will be, this broadcast we take a lot of people back, to their roots and try to remember, how good those days were, because those days can never come back, but they live on or lingers on in our memories, in our medullas. So let's stay blessed, stay blessed, all of you, and let's stay blessed and have a beautiful day. So with a beautiful weekend, the sun is shining out here. So I hope we will have a very good day and a blessed day. So give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you've not, please, because we really need your subscriptions, and we also need your comments as well to be able to improve on whatever thing that we have to improve on, because we are just starting and building up. So we hope to improve on everything in every area. And also subscribe to our channel if you've not, and if you've done that already, thank you very much, for being steadfast and staying with us. And God bless you. I'll see you soon. Bye.